Alright, I'm back to play some Islanders New Shores, and as you can see by what's on the screen, I'm going to be going to the second island this time around. There's a video or two that are going to be missing. I messed around with some audio and video settings, and the bitrate wasn't high enough, so the video came out pretty poorly. I am going to toss in a couple clips right after this of what my highest scoring first island is, or has been so far, and that's going to be the reason for me to move on to Island 2. I feel like I'm finished on Island 1. I should be welcoming myself back because I've not played the game for about a week at this point. These guys, if you place them within like a specific range for them to be able to like snap onto that grid, they will do so. So you'll see right here with the hop field, I'm going to have it be intentionally aligned. The I guess bottom panel here is lined up to the third row of hops. If I place it there, it pushes it forward so that these two lines are lining up instead. So it is like 1 pixel that I'm getting this by. That is so lucky. Shaman? 3 of them on the opening. Wow. Seaweed fields anyways. So it's not like it's an issue. Ooh, that's where Shaman goes in the future when I place more seaweed field. That's a 33-point Shaman. That's gonna be nice to place later. Okay, I'm gonna be missing out on. Oh, a Shaman's in range. I didn't know. Okay. So the lighthouses have to be played before this Shaman goes down. That's such. Okay, no, the seaweed fields are definitely where it's at. That's 47. That's a very sizable amount. 13 points. This one probably not going to find a spot for it. Not too much of a point loss. I'm going to take the points here and then run with whatever buildings I get from the next pack. I have to take. I should not have clicked that fast. It can be the better choice to take a city center now, and it is the better choice to take a city center because I need to start placing the plateau and other things that are based off of it. End up with too many spots for fountains on this run. Plateau, and then plateau. Oh, and I forgot they like being beside each other. That's nice. Oh, just a little bit too few of points, and I'm not gonna be able to get these guys close enough to the statue to get that to work. And then we take the Hermitage, and we hope that this grants. Oh, that's a lot more points than I was expecting. I thought the Lumberjacks were gonna be like -10 or -20, and this isn't even in range of one of them. Oh, can I sneak that in for a +90? Oh, don't tell me I get to the next building pack. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is what the last hour has all been about, by the way. Sorry, I'm completely normal, I swear. Okay, 97 is where I'm taking it. And then I can play Lumberjacks afterwards freely, and then those will get me some more points. Ooh. What the hell kind of wall is that? It's already enclosing itself. Sorry if any of you are watching this video to like fall asleep and like my voice is raised so much in tone. I'm just too excited about this run, this point total here. And then we'll place this one here. I don't get it to the next round, but I'm so happy with 1.6.5. Oh, that's like, I don't need to do any more score runs on the first island. I feel like I've got this down pat. This is a great island to build on, don't get me wrong, but what would you have to do to get another 30 points around here? Maybe you get that last seaweed farm and you're able to place a seaweed field at a Hermitage on the first round. I'm so happy. So after that first island run, I tried a second island run afterwards, and it didn't go as well. I leaned a little bit too hard into cities, and I didn't build for like the houses and the mansions as much as I should have, so I didn't get as many points. I mean, it wasn't a bad scoring run per se, but it wasn't as good as what my first run was. So on this one here, I'm gonna try building more for industry, just because I think I'm overestimating how quickly it's going to scale from Island 1 to Island 2. I'm not going to be able to get to the end game or anywhere near it. I shouldn't say end game, the mid game. I'm not going to be placing markets and circuits that are markets and circuses that are going to be worth a lot of points, that are going to get me to the next buildings and the next, I should still be playing for the early game on Island 2. With that being said, I have 2 late game items to pick. Guildhall, which I think is more of a mid game item. It gains points with any building, but if you place more than one of it around it, it starts getting reduced in score. So this is great if you have just a hodgepodge of buildings left to play and you're like, oh, I have nowhere else to play this. I can play it here for some amount of points, and then the Guildhall adds like I think 12 per unique building. So it's just making the buildings that you don't exactly know where to place worth 12 more in your hotbar if it's not in a good spot for the Guildhall already. You'll usually find a spot for like 80 for the Guildhall and then put a couple extra buildings around it to make it worth even more than that. The temple, that one is definitely a late game item. Every mason that gets put beside it is worth 20 points. That's an insane amount for just like one building to be amping something's score, especially buildings that can be considerably closer together. You'd place brickyards in the center, masons on the left and right, and temple in the center, and there you go. You've got all the points that you need. But I'm not going to be getting enough masons, or I'm not going to be getting them consistently enough to pick the temple. If I'm getting like 7 or 8 masons on a run, yeah, I'm going to take this. Especially because the secondary scaling is mostly from houses and mansions, I believe, for the temple. So that's something for later, especially when I can build vertically, like either on a wall or put out a wall platform or use a terrace. It's not for the current run. That means that I'm not going to look at the islands at all. Tundra compared to tropical, I'm just going to be picking it for the buildings. So I'm going to be going with Guildhall this time around. It does kind of suck that the videos that I recorded haven't, or like they didn't turn out, that the bitrate was so messed up, but it's not all bad. I'm going to be playing enough Islanders. There's going to be enough content to last me a long time. I don't need to worry about 1 or 2 lost runs. Now, the second island run that I did, the one that isn't going to be making it into a recording, was on this exact same island, and I had the mistake of putting my sandpits out here, thinking I was going to make I was going to need to use up so much of the space that the sand pits I placed weren't able to be hit by enough brickyards, because I wanted the brickyards to be on the cliff sides here, because that's where they can be placed, and then houses nearby. I think this area is looking a lot better in that respect. Personally, what I want to do is look to play hops fields on this side to be able to play some parks in between the trees and the hops fields, or maybe even just get them beside the statue. Right, last time I was thinking about where to put the houses because I wanted to build a city center, but I'm not doing that on this run. So I think the best bet is still to have all of my farms near the statue. They seem to get the most points off of it for the early game. 5 on a certain building is just an incredible amount. I don't know. Last time around, the building that I picked was not Guildhall, it was Verdure, which is putting down more trees or flowers or fish, depending on where you put the like quote unquote building. It's just putting down more greenery. So I had like lumberjacks that could hit 30 per lumberjack, or parks that were hitting for like 25, 30. This time around, I've just got the Guildhall. I think the Verdure is a better early game building, but the Guildhall is going to be something that I want to play in like Islands 3, 4, 5 for sure. So I'm fine picking it up early. We'll go see what we have for packs. Now I've got the option of a seaweed farm pack. What I would want to look for is, something like this on the back, where I can have a shaman in the back corner right here and have a bunch of fields for it to benefit off of. I've noticed that I can hit like 40-point shamans if they're beside seaweed fields in a corner. So I'd want to build them out here. I could presumably put a seaweed field 1, 2, and then 3 to pick up all of the fields that I've already placed. Maybe even getting a third one if I was trying to get a bunch of points, or like more points off for the fields in the center, but that's probably not as likely. This one as a 4th one is probably more likely. Now, I'm not seeing anything in this corner that is going to get me a seaweed field, giving points to all 4 farms at the same time. That's not really necessary, and I'm not seeing anywhere else along the edges that give a spot for a shaman. So this back corner is definitely the place for them. And then I could probably get a lighthouse out here is going to get rid of those. Lighthouses I have to place before the shamans. I need to remember that. They get like a minus 12 point deduction. It's almost not worth it to place it by the seaweed farms anymore. maybe the rays here don't get blocked, maybe just a little bit on these ridges, and I can place a lighthouse here. And then, no, that's way too much of a wall to be covering it. Maybe I can get lucky and place one at like the top of this spire, but I don't think that's a flat enough area for a lighthouse to be placed. So I'm thinking it's one here to pick up all the seaweed fields, and then one here so that they're not in range of each other. This spot, is it? No, I guess it still has the same problem of being next to like a face. I'm just gonna have to deal with not all of the rays on the lighthouse being unblocked. Now I can take a seaweed farm or a brewing pack. Brewing pack is better if I want to play for a hermitage because they scale off of hops fields very well, and parks. But since there's not very many space for trees, especially close to the statue where I want to put hops fields and then parks to be able to pick up the trees between, or trees plus hop field on the parks, it's not something that I want a lot of the buildings of. They're going to get me points, don't get me wrong, but I think the seaweed fields, especially if I take them as my first pack, are going to get me more points. It's going to, like, not guarantee, but it's pretty likely that I'm getting 3 or 4 seaweed farms if I take it first. This just gets me a couple more hops fields, which, like, sure, I'll be placing the building down for 25, but the seaweed farms, if I get lucky on them, So then each field is probably, like, on average going to be worth 20 when I place them in between 2 seaweed farms, and a seaweed farm itself is probably going to be worth 40 points if I place it later on into the game. A brewery, if I get one of those later, is probably going to be worth 40 or so points, and all of the hops fields that I place down are going to start at 5 and scale by, sorry, they're going to start at 9 because the statue, and scale by 2 every time. So it's like placing down my first seaweed field, and after I've placed 4 of them, I'm always placing down like a double location seaweed farm. I'm gonna take the brewing pack first. I do get less points from the shamans over here, but I think I'm only gonna, like, if I get 2 seaweed farms early, which is what I'm hoping for, and then place the seaweed fields in front of them, then I'll have the shaman in the back corner and as many seaweed fields as it would, like, be able to hit. It's I don't need to build out like more than like 4 here, I think, before the shaman is going to be out of range. Maybe I can get lucky with placing the shaman, or I'll get 1 here. I don't think it's going to fit in that back corner, but like I can place 1 and 2. I don't really see other positions where a shaman could go. Maybe in this corner, but not very likely. So the hops fields need to go by the statue. They're going to be almost as far away as possible, because I want space for my mill to be my mill can't go near the statue. Okay, so I don't need to worry as much about like saving space directly beside the statue. Now, what else am I gonna want by the statue? I'm gonna want my sand pits, I'm gonna want my brickyards, my masons, if I can help it, but they'd have to be on this back wall, and then that means that the plateau is also somewhere within this area. Okay, what happens if I save all of my fields to be placed on top of a plateau beside the statue? So I can place a plateau here, giving building space on the bottom half of it, and because the top of the plateau is green, I can put fields on it. I think that's my play for a plateau, meaning if I place a plateau here, I want to have my masons on this wall or on this wall, and which side am I gravitating towards for that? It feels like my lumberjacks and sawmills are going to go here. I'm not going to have many of them, but they're going to be placed anyways. So then I would want to have my sand pits over here because a warehouse would do better with all industry buildings on this side. So non-industry buildings, the hops fields and stuff, go off to the left, or maybe I move them a bit to the right so that my brewery can be placed here. Yeah, that feels better. So hops fields on the right, all my buildings are going to be on the right side of the island. And then for parks, I think parks are allowed to go on the sand. I feel like they should be able to, you know? I'd get them beside as many hops field as possible, is like the hope, which means I would put a line of them down here, like a skinny line of them down here. Are gonna get around 5 to 6 of them, I want to 3 to 6 of them. I should be a bit more generous with my ranges. So if I get that many, I can put all the skinny ones down here, and any of the fat ones I can put on this side of them, getting slightly less points, but still decent amount. Now, it is nice putting 2 hops fields down beside the statue and getting the perfect amount of points for the next building pack. It almost feels like it was made to be. Now, seaweed farm or brickmaker pack. If I get the seaweed farm now, that means that I'm going to have to place the buildings now for points, and I don't want to place any fields yet. I want to get 2 seaweed farms before that happens. So I need to get some other buildings under my belt, so we take the brickmaker pack. We can place the other hops fields. There's no point in waiting on them. And then we want to place all of our sand pits. So sand pits should be considered in between brickyards as much as possible. And the brickyards, one should be on this side. I guess no, because, okay, the sand pits. Let's say I put like 2 facing outwards from right here. I can get a 15 point, and I can get maybe another 15 point. There's a rock in the way right here, damn. Oh, did I see a 15? Yeah, I see a 15 for a brief moment. There's going to be a way to be able to get it. So I have a 15 and an 11.1, meaning that a brickyard on this side is going to be able to pick up both those sand pits and maybe one more that I play down here. And a brickyard over here is going to be able to pick up those 2 sand pits without overlapping brickyards, because these guys take a big hit in points when placing them beside each other. And then any masons that I place on this guy are still going to be in the direct middle of the brickyard. I'm hoping after I place this sand pit that I save this space right here for a warehouse in the future. There's a little bit of a rock there. Maybe that'll cause problems, but I'll want to keep as many of my industry buildings within range of like this radius, I guess. If I get lucky enough, I could cinch the plateau off to the right enough to be able to get the mill in range of that as well, but that's too far ahead for planning. Place a sand pit here. And then we place one for 11 points. It's going to be our maximum. I'm fine to take that -4 hit on this guy. And then future sand pits here, maybe I'll get lucky enough to get them. No, they're not going to be in range of both the brickyards if I were to do this. I mean, maybe this one here, but I don't know if that's worth it. I think it might just be more worth it to place a sand pit facing outwards in this direction. Unless if I place this guy here and it's in range of both brickyards without the brickyards being in range of each other yet. I'm thinking too far ahead. We take the seaweed farm pack because we can't take the city pack because I want to focus on industry. And now we have to get another 51 points to get to the next round. Don't want to place my brewery yet. Feels a little bit too early to commit to a location for it. The hops fields are all going to be in range even if I place it now. I can't place my first seaweed farm for points though. No fields yet. Just seeing if I place it like, say one here, one here. This guy is not going to be able to extend into the range to pick up their fields. This guy would be able to, and this guy, a majority of them. Okay, so let's say I fit all of my fields off on the right side over here. 1, 2, then this one can pick up the fields without being in range of either of the farms, and then this one can pick up all of the fields without being in range of any of the farms. I get double points off of these guys, maybe a few triples here, but unlikely. And then this is just to pick up all of the fields at the end, not to try to get quadruple fields. This doesn't get in the way of any shamans, I don't believe, so I'm fine to just send it. Now, am I lucky enough to be able to, slot fields? Well, I think it's always able to slot fields underneath the net. It's just, do you have to build around the, like, the wooden platform of the farm or not, depending on how high it is? Have I undoed on any of my buildings? No. Okay, so there was something that I tested out while I was getting to this island. I just played a quick round, not thinking too much about my buildings, without pressing any undos. How the undo scoring works is that for every undo that you use, you take a -50 point hit to your total, and there's 150 points at stake for your undos. So that means that you get like 3 undos before it's just... It doesn't score you in the negative, it just gives you 0 bonus points. So if I get a like 1,400 scoring island, not a 1,600 scoring island, and I don't use any of my undos, my points are going to be comparable. Now, there is a caveat to that. Your bonus points at the end, they're dictated by how many times you go, like there's a multiplicative bonus that is dictated by how many buildings you place for one and how many times you go around this circle over and over. Those bonus points from the undos are also considered by this multiplier, but if I don't get to 600 points, I don't go around the loop one more time. And you can see that even though I had like by the end of it with my undos, like around 1,500 something for points, my bonus points put me in the hole by about like 400 because of the multiplier not getting to the next step, basically. So it would be good to play for both no undos and play perfectly, but if I play fast and loose, I can get pretty comparable scores on the first island. Now I need to place the sand pits and the brickyards. Right, they need to score 41 points in total. Sand pits are going to be scoring at least 7, that's 14, and then if I placed all of them beside each other, these guys are going to be scoring, that sucks that this rock's right in the way. It's going to be scoring 28 points total, which is more than enough, even without placing the sand pits first. Let me see. This guy's going to have to... Yeah, that feels like a good spot to cram him in. He's going to be able to reach one more sand pit on this side, but because I would have to put the brickyard all the way over here instead, that feels like a little bit further away than what I'd want. I think I'd rather this guy to be close and this guy to be far away. Now, if I put a sand pit on this side, maybe I can get one more... Sorry, a brickyard on that side. Maybe I can get one more sand pit over here, and it will benefit both brickyards. I'm taking an extra -4 hit to the sand pit, but this is maybe in range of the warehouse that I want to place in this corner in the future. If I have the space to place it there, because, yeah, the stone is still in the way. I'm reluctant to place this brickyard, thinking that it's going to block out the warehouse from being in this corner. I'd have to place it too high up, and then it's not interacting with that sand pit at all. So brickyard can go... I'm placing it like here on this side, which means that a sand pit like... That's the best one, but it blocks the brewery spot. If I could do... That blocks out some of like its sand capabilities. I can get 17 if I do this. Is that getting a point from being in between the hop fields? That's interesting. Can I do that multiple times? No, I couldn't be so lucky as to. Or maybe it's like just before it enters the hop field. No, that's on the inside. I think I'm fine with placing this one here for 17. And then placing a brickyard to capitalize off these 3 sand pits. Now, if I place a sand pit in the future up here, where would it go? I don't really think anywhere. I think the sand pits in future are going to have to go down here instead, meaning what would I place? I'd place 115 over here, and then maybe this guy only gets in the range of... No, it's in the range of 2 of them. It's 10 points, and then this guy could be... He's not going to be in range of the brickyard. Okay, so I'm going to assume I get at least one more brickyard and one more sand pit. So I need to play with that in mind. I don't just want to play for like a 15-pointer and a 17-pointer and call it a day. If I play it this far out, is there a way that I can dodge both the sand pits? I could play this one to dodge one of them. Like that for 11 points, which doesn't feel half bad. The brickyard still gets to go up here. Okay, let's say if I do play this one here, this brickyard can go up against this rock, gets all 3 of them. This brickyard can go up against this rock and it gets all 3 of them. And then that's one more sand pit in the radius of the warehouse, giving this +5. So this is actually a 12 sand pit in future with the warehouse. And it's, how much do the brickyards add? I think it's +4. Yeah. So it's actually a 16-point sand pit. Compared to... What is it, like this guy down here, which is going to be a 17-point sand pit? Yeah, one of the brickyards gets in the way. This one... Okay, so it's not that much of a difference. If I get 2 warehouses and I'm able to put them both like beside most of my industry buildings, this is better, but it's unlikely. If I get a second brickyard though, then this one is right. If I get another brickyard and I place it like right here to get in range of these 3, this guy becomes better. So I'm going to place one up here, and then it saves more space for me to play another sand pit down here in the future. Then I want to place one brickyard here to make sure that I get all of these guys in range. Yep. And then this guy, I guess I place him first because he's somebody that I want to put right up against the wall. And then this one, I'll see how close I'm able to get without being in range of this one. And before I place this brickyard, I can place a sand pit for 1 extra point. And we'll place that sand pit where I thought earlier up here, where I got like in between the hopped fields somehow for 16. Yeah. 17 is what it was. That doesn't feel like it's gonna destroy any of my building spots in the future. I'm still able to get a brewery here with a good amount of space. Yeah, it feels like it's not getting pushed in there any further. Did I see it somehow lock into like that stone there? Can I like, oh, it gets on top of the stone. Wait, can I do something where it like gets on top of this then? I guess, no, that'll be good for my warehouse in the future to like push it down as far as it can go. It fits in very nicely, but, oh, and it can't even go in there normally. You have to rotate it in. Very interesting. And I'm not able to get it anymore. Warehouse, I think, has about the same range, so even if I place it out here, it's still getting that sand pit, so I can conceivably, if I get this, like, hole in, I can place another brickyard here. And I don't think this guy is going to mess it up by too much. If I walk it up on the stone like I did before, does that... No, it doesn't seem like it. Okay. Was it, like, did I have to face it sideways to walk it into the stone? I think a bit. Hold on. Like that, yeah. Okay, so if it's in range of that one brickyard, I think it's going to be in range of this other one as well. So I don't have to worry about placing that one out too much. Hop field for free. And then the other sand pit I wanted to play next was down here. I just want to see what the point scores up here look like. Maybe it's worth it to play it up here for 16 points so that I can play another brickyard for more. Like, okay, so if I play it for 16 here, the brickyard that I place is going to be worth 18 as opposed to 18 down here, but it leaves space for me to play more brickyards down here in the future, and this one has more of the industry buildings beside it. If I have more of the brickyards beside each other, masons just feel easier to place, so I'm going to place this sand pit first. We have eventual places for sand pits if I get more of them, which feels nice, but those are like backup spots. And it doesn't seem like I'm getting... Why is this such a... it's the top... No, it's all of my bottom lines that get to be filled out if I do this. Okay. So 16 points. Now, lumberjacks are going in this location no matter what. If I start placing them on this side, I delete a tree, but I get 12, and then I can place one over here for... I think I saw 14? No, if I do 14, it's in range of this guy. So then I can play another one for, 13? And there's nothing down the backside, right? Okay, so it's looking like one lumberjack here goes afterwards, so that it doesn't delete that tree. And we have like 2 or 3 lumberjacks over here. Now, if I have them placed over here, I would need the sawmill to be... I guess I could fit one in this very far corner to get these 3 lumberjacks, and then I could place a sawmill... I don't know if I cinch it over enough if I have a lumberjack there to get it out of range of this guy so that I could get a second sawmill to... Oh, I can put it in the back corner like that. Okay, okay. So if I do that, it gets out of range of this sawmill that I want to place. So this gets like 3 lumberjacks back here. This gets like 3 lumberjacks right here. Sure, my lumberjacks in the future are going to be scoring less. It's 13, and then it's 9, and then less. But it's not all bad. Now, does this sawmill somehow... Yeah, it's never going to reach that guy. I just have to see that lumberjack over here as a wash. But I'm fine to commit to this location. Should I wait until I have more lumberjacks before doing this? Okay, that feels like, even though I get an extra point by moving it up, am I fine with wasting space up here? Am I going to be playing other buildings all the way up here? Yeah, I'm fine to play for 13. I don't need to align it to the back wall. Now I need a few more points to get to the next round. I either play a brickyard somewhere, which don't really want to commit to this one early without the warehouse, but I think I'm going to have to just for points. Yeah, I'm going to need to before I place the masons, because the masons need to come before the warehouse. So this can be my next thing to get me to the next round. Now, if I were to play a guild hall, where would it be? If I played on this side, I'm getting a reduction in points because of the sand pits. I might get a reduction in points because of sawmills or lumberjacks if I place it high enough. I'm definitely going to be getting a reduction on points because of all of the wheat fields that I want to place. Is it just that I play it on like this side over here? And whatever buildings I have left over get placed here? Yeah, I'm not seeing any good spots currently. It's a building that I'll think about later. The brickyard is what I was going to place next. No more sand pits are going down here in the future, so it's not like this is a bad placement. I want to get that last sand pit in place. Right, it was rotating him into the back corner here. Like... Come on, I remember you surviving when I put you like the last click one of these times. I might not be able to get it again. That might be as far as I'm tucking it down. No, I don't think I'm able to rotate it into position. I thought that I did. Probably just got it like this far, saw it like lock pretty close into place, and then just conflated the two. Unless somehow it like works. Does it work backwards? No way it works backwards, right? I guess I could also put it like this if I wanted to line it up that way. That save me any space though? I don't think it does. I think this is still going to be better on space as long as I shimmy it back there like I did before. Come on now. Okay, but if I'm placing a sawmill up there, the warehouse that I want to place in this location isn't going to be able to reach it from here, I don't think. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. I don't think so, though. Can I settle for 14 points instead of 18? I don't think I want to. I think I want to take the early game points instead of trying to play for a warehouse that's so far in the future and that I'm probably only going to get one of. Sorry that I've spent so much time with this one building, but I want to do better than my last run. I want to make sure that I'm playing optimally. Last time I like called myself out on like 3 mistakes right after I placed the building that stopped me from being able to undo my decision. Did not feel good. I think that's just less space used overall. I'll go with that one. go to the next building pack. And masons, a very good time to get them. We get an extra brickyard, so I will place one down on this side. And then I can get to playing a bunch of masons in the center. Now, is there any, like, better way of doing this? Any, like, way that I rotate it that gets me more bang for my buck? I don't really think so. I think the higher that I put it up on the rock, though, the easier of a time I'm going to have with playing the masons. So I'll attempt to do that. That's as far as I'm willing to go. So we play this one. We can play our hop field. Oh, right. Okay, so I explained this the last time, but I forgot to this time. On the second island, you unlock boons, which is like the main change of this game compared to the last one. Sure, they added some buildings and things, but this is like the roguelite mechanic of this game. In the previous one, it was just playing like Island 1, Island 2, Island 3, and there was no difference between those islands. It was just going to try to get a better score than your last one on a new area. I think maybe the islands changed some small amount, but it didn't feel like there was very much variation between the different islands. This one, because you have to get so much score to get to your next island, it allows for more boon pips. On this one, you can see that there's a dot up here, and you might have seen before there was a dot down here. Every time I get to one of those pips, I get a boon. So let me add the boon pack. We get two options. Either I select a building to get a copy of. This building has to already be played, but my choices are limited to a single option 5 times. I don't exactly know what that means. Because this persists between islands, I'm assuming it is that you cannot choose the same building more than 5 times over your 20 island run, which I think is a little bit hard to get to. Maybe you're seeing a lot of boons later on, and I'm not able to like speak on this yet. Or I can take shrink building, which only shrinks it by 20%, but I do get to do this for 3 buildings. I think in other rounds, there are some times where you get like points for using boons. The 3 boons here is better, but I think getting a copy of a building, like if I just choose to get another warehouse eventually, or another, I don't know if I'm gonna get like a high scoring brewery or maybe a guild hall. I've got a second spot for it and I can get like 80 points off of it. I think bargain is much better than shrinking buildings. If I was later in the game and I'm trying to get like 2 temples right beside each other, or like, oh, I could fit a market on this plateau only if I had shrink building because I've already placed a house on it or something, then this would be worthwhile. But currently it's this one, especially because when I'm playing for like points on a specific island, I'm not caring about islands in the future. I can take this one and I don't have to care about the plus, like this persisting between islands of not being able to choose the same building over and over. So these boons I can use whenever I want. They're different from buildings. And here I can just select any building to... Oh, I can't select a statue. Okay, that would have been cool if I could select a statue to get it into my bar, but that does make sense that it's like not a building that I've placed, so I can't take it. I can't pick it up. Okay, now playing, because I'm not thinking about duplicating any of these yet. I'll duplicate buildings later. Thinking about where to play my lumberjacks. I can get 7 here, which was originally 11 points. I can get 9 here. Does that still leave me enough space? I think that still leaves me enough place to get this 12 in the future, but it doesn't save space for my sawmill that I wanted to place in this corner. Does it? Okay, but I kind of need to walk that guy back instead of just being able to place him there originally. No, okay. Let me try wiggling him around until I find a space. No, you can. I don't need to wiggle him behind and into that rock, which it feels a bit weird that I can bridge that gap. Usually you can't place like buildings off ledges, but that was an exception. I can also just place this lumberjack and see if I have enough space for that next sawmill. So let's do that. This, I'm not going to have enough, I'm not going to be able to see if this is out of range of the other lumberjack that's going to go down, but yeah, it's got enough space for the sawmill. Don't want to get it, I could get it closer, but I also kind of don't want to use my undo. Have I used any of them so far? I'm going to say that I haven't. I kind of want to see the amount of points that I'll get as bonus points. Sawmill doesn't go down yet because I'm waiting on one more lumberjack before that happens to place this sawmill, and then I'm waiting on a second lumberjack before I place a sawmill in this corner instead. I can play a mason though. There's no point in not doing it, and I will want to place them on this side to make sure that they're close to the plateau. I could maybe reasonably get it within range of like, or closer to the statue. I should also be getting it closer to the warehouse. So I think building it on this side is fine. And it might also be within range of the mill, getting me an extra 2 points. So I'll play it as far as I can on this mountainside first then. Which is the exact reason why I walked this brickyard forward. And then we play another hop field to get me enough points to go to the next round. They played on the right or the left-hand side. I think here is fine. If I'm playing parks here, they're still going to score. I think I'd want to play them on the outside and then parks in the middle. No, that feels good. That feels good. Okay. Lighthouse. I want to find shamans before I place any of these, but I have to pick it instead of the seaweed pack. Oh, there's my second seaweed farm. I can start placing seaweed fields now. There's no way to get around the reduction in points. So I have to place 3 seaweed fields that are going to get double points to make this worth it. Or I could place a guy over here, like this. Maybe I'll find a spot for him to fit. And then the fields that are in between them, I'll be able to get with my 3rd seaweed farm, like back here, like this, I guess. And because I'm so late in this, I'm going to start drawing less. I think it's more likely that I get 3 seaweed farms instead of 4. So if I place it here, how many of my fields are getting duplicated or like getting double points compared to this over here? This, I'm going to have space for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could have space for like 7 or like all of my fields currently. If I play one over here instead and take the, not minus 24, like get rid of the minus 24 reduction, I would need to be playing 4 seaweed fields in between these 2 guys to make it worthwhile, meaning 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. Maybe I can get a 4th, maybe a 5th, but it's more likely that I get all of them beside each other over here, and then it makes placing my next seaweed farm easy. And because I have 3 masons, high scoring from all of the brickyards that I have beside each other, and because I have 6 seaweed fields ready to place, I think I can get to the next round with, like, while taking this hit in points. Now, I could wait on the seaweed farm until I get to the next pack so that I have more buildings to choose from when I do get there. So I play this hop field for 21. I play like the 3 masons to get the rest of the points that I need. And then on my next pack, I pull the trigger on getting a subtraction in points. Yeah, and there's going to be no way that I get out of the range of the other masons unless I do something weird on this wall. Yeah, no, it's not happening. I'm fine to just keep taking minus 4 hits to my masons to have them all beside each other so that whatever I play in the future is going to be beside all of my masons at once. I can't get any on this wall without... Yeah, I can't get any on that wall without hitting the brickyard. Right, I played this one as like the farthest range that it could be. Something here. And playing there. Okay, so now I'm hoping for a shaman here. Right, farming pack. Okay, so I need to hold on to this farming pack. There's my 3rd seaweed farm. That's kind of nice. So I need to hold out on playing the mill and the fields until I get a plateau, which I'm going to place... Maybe the plateau is in range of the masons if I put it on the right hand side, but it's not as close to the statue as what I wanted. I think it's still a good play. I don't think I'm able to use my plateau space as well as I like to, so to get 3 extra on all of these buildings, of which I'm gonna have like 5 or 6 to place, and to make them so that they can be beside the mill more often rather than just like, I guess there's enough space up here for a mill and to play all the fields beside each other. It just feels... I don't know what I'm trying to say. Mills and wheat fields are going to be fine on the plateau. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Now, Top field on this side so that I commit to skinny parks down this line. I mean, that seems fine. It's still in range of all of the others. The brewery that I'm placing is definitely going to hit it. Yeah. Oh, if I get a second brewery that I can place on the other side, it's going to be so many points. Okay. And then I can get around to placing the seaweed farm as a reduction in points. Right. That was the original. Yeah, that was the plan. That was the plan. And then if I do end up getting 4 seaweed farms, I could conceivably do that first and then the second. Yeah, okay. Okay, 1. Then we place as many fields beside both of them as we can, while not extending too far to the right yet, because that's where I'm placing my 3rd farm, and I might be able to get some triple points. I think placing one more, like, here is fine, and then anything that I place here, yeah, is going to be in range of this guy. Does that fit? Yes, it does. Is that going to be in range of this guy? Okay, so I want to place him, like, here. Yeah, he's definitely not. This guy's a lot further out than just, like, directly sideways. Yeah, that is definitely not hitting him. There. A 2 spot. This feels like it's taking up the least amount of space between a seaweed farm that's going to be possibly a triple. Now, I could put down some more on this far left side so that this guy gets an extra 4 points when placed. And I think I am, even though I'm about to start getting reductions on draws, get a few more seaweed fields. Like, I think I'm going to be able to fit 4 in between here. And I see myself pulling at least another 2 seaweed fields. So we do this. Oh, another 2x1. I'm getting very lucky on the small seaweed fields this time around. Okay, nice. Shaman. We get 2 of them. Okay, so if I put one... Can I fit one back here? No. I can fit one up here. Oh, that's kind of nice. 29 points is the best it can do. But then that means that I can't put anything in this corner, which, all things considered, isn't that bad. I can still put them along this wall, which is worth 21 points. -2 to what I had before, but it's better than whatever's over here. Does this wall feel nice to play it against? Not really, not currently. So I only have 2 spots for shamans. If I'm going to be playing any more in the future, yeah, can't play it up there. I could find, yeah, places in the wall like this for just a high base scoring one that blocks as many of the rays as possible. I mean, I've got 2 spots. Hold on, can I somehow... Oh, it's a pretty sneaky spot. Oh, that's just like more than what the seaweed field, or the same amount as what the seaweed fields are right now. It's 27. What about like... No, it's not going to go down in there. 23, still a pretty good point total. It's definitely not going to like being by the masons, but it might not have to be close enough. Oh, maybe this was a better spot for shamans? 21, and then I'd have like space for 3 fields down there. Oh, and then there's a space back here that I could tuck it into. Okay, does that ruin my other spot? Oh, it's 35. Oh, because it blocks so many of the rays. And it's not going to get any more fields. It blocks off this spot here, which is 29 currently, I think. I saw a 29 in there, right? I'm not going crazy. So I need to hit all the fields and I need to somehow block more rays. Yeah, 29 right there. That maybe hits another 3 fields to make it from 29 to 31 to 33 to a bit more. If this was a 35, then this is just always better to place. And then I'm able to get... Oh, can I get it down like this angle far enough that it gets... Hold on. So here, this one. No, I don't think I can push it forward anymore. I was thinking maybe if I get it like lower somehow, these other 3 arrays could be blocked, but that's not happening. So 35 points here, and then I can put it into this corner better. Before I do that though, I got to my, I finished the island, so now my draw gets lowered, and now I'm getting, I get another boon, because I reached a pip. So let's see what that is. So I can either add a statue. You can place statues in this game. Oh, if I got that earlier, it would be worth so much more, because, well, how many points? Oh, it's 60-point reduction to place them beside each other. It likes flowers, it likes trees. So good with Vergier. The other one I think was still shrink building, and yeah, I don't want to take that. So it's 19 base points if I play it over here. It's 21 base points if I play it over here. Where am I going to be playing the majority of my buildings for the rest of the game? Is it going to be in this industry area? Because if it is, it should be played over here. It's going to be taking up the warehouses space if I do it here. And I'm not going to be able to get it like on the plateau with the wheat fields because I wanted them to be... I guess instead of placing it over here, I could maybe like shove the plateau far into here. Okay, but a statue up here feels like it's too high for any of the, yeah, the wheat fields to be in the way. I do want to place this as early as possible, though, because everything benefits from a statue. How much do seaweed fields benefit? 3? Can I place them on the water? I cannot. I could place them on the shoreline here, but then, like, not many of the seaweed fields are going to hit, and I'm getting 8 from putting them beside seaweed farms anyways, so that doesn't really matter. If I really could, I'd want to find a grassy area that I can play a bunch of wheat fields on to be able to get the maximum amount of points. And like, I guess I could do that up here. I could play the mill by the lumberjacks and then just play a bunch of wheat fields here. They don't take a reduction from the lumberjacks, and the hermitage that I'm playing is probably just going to be around these hops fields, so I don't need to worry about like getting rid of grassy area. Now it does get rid of a lot of trees, so I'd want to play my lumberjacks first, so it's like saving my mill and my wheat fields for later. And then I also have space on the plateau. What would I put on the plateau then? Maybe I have enough buildings later on, but like last time around it didn't feel like I had very many cities to play, even though I'm given more draws because I have a higher point total. Okay, I think I'm going to be playing the statue over here. It's the highest amount of base points apart from here, but there's nothing that I want to build in this area continually, and I can't get it like anywhere on the ground close enough to the statue to make sense, and over here feels like it's out in no man's land. Most of my industry buildings are going to continue over here. It's going to be benefiting sawmill, it's going to be benefiting a lumberjack in the future, it's going to be benefiting the wheat fields and the mill that I place eventually. I don't think the brewery gets in range, no. Okay, so if I were to play it down below instead, can I get it on this and then like cinch it upwards? Remember, yeah, placing it here. Okay, so if I put it here, I can conceivably get like 2 fields beside it. Oh, I can. It's clipping. Okay. I want to place it here, see if I can get the brewery in range, and then I'm comfortable with playing a bunch of wheat fields beside it as my point gain. It's going to give me like 45 points roughly. Now, hold on, because I've placed this building, can I bargain to pick up another one? I mean, I don't think that's the play in this map because there's not as many buildings that I want to play around the statues. There's not, like, I'm not going to be playing 40 buildings around it or something. But it could be a cool interaction. No, you can't pick up statues at all. Okay. The wheat fields, I have space for... If I moved it upwards more, maybe I'd have space for more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... maybe 6, and then I place the mill back here, and then it hits 1, 2 fields, 3, 4 total. I'm still fine with the placement. This is the brewery, get in range of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 1 I mean, if I sneak it in, sure, but then it gets rid of the field and the statue that it's on, so it's not worth it. Do I place it any closer down here so that I get rid of less wheat fields that are beside it, but I get more like masons and things that are? Do I place it on the ground completely so that houses can? Okay, so if I'm getting 21 points up there and then conceivably an extra 30 because of all of the fields that I place, I could also place like 5 or 6 houses beside it and still recoup those points. Again, here feels like I've already committed to I need space for a warehouse. 1 second. Okay, so here conceivably is where I'm placing my warehouse. What goes here? A brewery. Not a bunch of other small buildings. I think the most small buildings I'm going to be placing is my lumberjacks and sawmills up here. So that this feels correct. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to run with it. Now, do I play my mill earlier or do I play it later? Let's say I put it in like the top left corner. I could pick up all of the fields by putting one down here and not the mill itself. Or like further. Oh, I could place it over here instead and that still makes it work. Okay, so I play a mill in the top corner over here and then all of the fields in this space. Again, I should be doing that after the lumberjacks though. So I just forget about this spot for a while. I'll come back to it later. The shaman might... That one's 25, this one... Right, I'm not going to be placing one over here because the other shaman. This guy might get like one more seaweed field into play, which gets him up to 25 points, maybe up to 27. I think there were spots for like 26 that I could just play him in instead. That way I don't have to play any of my seaweed fields without getting another farm. Oh, right. I think there's one on like the backside here that like got me a bunch of points from flowers. And because I have a statue up here, it might be more worthwhile now. $28, $30. We'll take a 30. It's a pretty good shaman. City pack or fountain. Now I can keep like just forgetting about the city pack for a while, but the fountain, I don't want to start stacking them because there's nothing for a fountain to benefit off of except for parks currently. If I take a city pack earlier, I might luck into a second city center, of which I can place one on this side beside all the masons and one maybe on this side to benefit from all the masons. A city center over here does also probably hit both the statues and the plateau that it's playing beside. I can put buildings on instead of the fields. So I guess I can start taking houses. I'm gonna pick up the city pack now. I think it's a good time to like start. Yeah, okay, let's just see. 41 points, that's pretty nice. That's pretty snazzy. A couple mansions down here, more mansions on top of the plateau here, and then houses. I guess maybe a couple fit here to be able to get the masons, but I do that after the warehouse gets played. Now, if I'm doing this, is there space for a market anywhere beside all of my houses and the warehouse? I don't think so. I think market is the building that I skip later on. I can maybe get a circus down, maybe. The tavern is going to be benefiting off of... I've only gotten one brewery. Wow, I thought I took the hops fields early enough that I'd see a second one. Okay. I kind of want to ship it on another seaweed farm back here. So that I can place more of my fields. That gets all of the seaweed farms that I've placed so far. Yeah, I'm fine too. Because then all of the fields that I place in the future are probably going to be benefiting from points here. Oh, I've got another boon because I cycled back around to the bottom half of the circle again. The next building placed earns 1 point from all buildings that normally don't affect its score, but also add a minus 15 point penalty, or adding plant matter to verdure. Okay, so this is free buildings. These guys roughly score like, I want to say 12 to 14 on average, and the max that you can get is 17. Adding more fish, I don't think I have enough fisheries to make that worth it. Adding more trees, I don't think I have enough lumberjacks to make that worth it. Adding more flowers, I don't have enough shamans to make it worth it. Precious, I could, let's say I put a city center down here, which I can duplicate with bargain. Okay, it's benefiting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, it's taking a minus 15 to its score to just get 15 points back. I don't think Precious is gonna do anything for me. What about like a lighthouse? Say I put it like all the way up here. The one shaman's in the way. Okay. So it's in range of like all of the buildings below it. It's gonna be scoring, right? There's a 39 here somewhere. Yeah. It would be scoring an extra, maybe like 5 points. Do I get multiple preciouses or just one? Just one. Okay. Is there anything else with a big range that I'm expecting? Not really. There's a building out there called Mountain Shrine that can do really well because the higher you place it up, the more range it has below it. But I'm not getting it on this run. So instead of taking Precious, which is a pretty good late game boon, I think it's going to be taking Verdure. Sucks that I've placed my shamans before doing it, but hey, that's life. Now where would I want to place it? Do I want more fish for my fisheries? Yeah, I'm gonna stop thinking. I'm gonna lock myself into taking the 2 Verdure. Okay, I have to like think about what building I want to duplicate by the end of things. Guild House isn't gonna be it. It's interesting that I get 50 points up here. But it's taking up space for my mills that I want to place for the lumberjacks. I feel like I don't have any good placements yet. I'm waiting on 1 or 2 more lumberjacks before I send it on my mills and wheat fields. I guess I don't need to wait on fishers to place down my lighthouses, especially this one all the way up here that isn't going to get any fishers beside it. Maybe one here, but like it's not that much of a loss in points. What about oh, I placed the shaman before placing the lighthouse. I forgot. Okay, this one gets in range of that lighthouse. What about placing one out here? This one, if I can get it on the corner, it gets a lot of points. This one, if I can get it on the corner, gets a lot of points. So this one I'll wait to place because I'll play a few more farms and fields maybe, but this one feels pretty locked in, like it's not getting any better. Does it like city centers or anything? Nothing. Okay. 40 points. Now I need to place one more building to get to the next round. I guess I could do the seaweed field over here because I've got the farm down now in place. Does this guy get it? Oh, that's nice. That's nice. There's more space for another field like... that doesn't fit. There works, but it blocks off too much of the space that I want to be using. Does that still work? No, not enough. What about this? I think that's the next field that I'm placing, so that I still have the ability to... Maybe a 2x1 fits in there? Okay, let me open up the next building pack. Fisher Fountain. I don't have things that scale fountains yet, so I pass over it for a Fisher. Oh, all mansion? Why? Why are you gonna give me all mansions like that? That's like the building that I don't want. They're so much harder to place than houses. Okay. The problems of taking a city pack. Does this get in range? If I move it like up a little bit, it does. I think that's more likely to give me a second or another seaweed field that's in range of all 3 of them. Yeah, so that this one can still be in range of all 3 of them. If I place it out here, I can place a 1x2 here, and then I place a 1x2 here. No, I don't think it's in range of all 3 of them still, so we'll do... That is. Okay, we'll just play this one then. And then as for verdure, it likes being by shamans, but shamans I've already placed beside flowers already, so that's not going to pan out that well. I mean, it is 17 points. What about the shaman over here? It adds some fish. I don't know if that's going to be worth it. Okay, so even if I had a few more trees, it's not really worth it to play it back there. I might save it to play some fish down. Okay, every fishery would benefit 2 off of it, as opposed to what else is benefiting if I play it as trees or flowers. See, like I get it in range of the statue here and get a crisp 16 points, and then all the fishers that I place down, which all two fishers that I place down, are gonna scale better by, what is it, 6 points each? Compared to placing it for 17 points over here and not getting anything out of it except for maybe some parks being played here, but I'd rather have the parks played here. The parks do like flowers beside them, so like, is there any way that I can like eke out an extra flower like that? Yeah, okay. So 18 points total. I have to move it a bit off to the right to make sure that it's not beside that guy. And I want to move the flowers as far to the right as possible. So, there's no flower on that side. Okay. So it is just a flower here. That's pretty good. Oh, and I needed 1 more point. Okay, so do I commit to the city center yet? I think I do. I think there's no reason not to play it yet. The plateau in the future is going to get rid of the 2 fish in front of me, so I want to play the city center first to play the fishers, to then play the plateau afterwards that benefits from a city center already being placed. The plateau is going to give me space to play my 6 mansions on top of it and some behind it. I don't really have space to play houses yet. The other spot that I could conceive of placing it is over here to be able to get some mansions beside it and the statue instead, because I have so many to place. But I'd have to recoup 20 points somehow, and I don't think the mansions are going to recoup that amount of points when I could just do the plateau play instead to recoup those points. So here. Just double checking that, yeah, I only have the bargain boon left. There's the plateau. I get 2 of them, okay. Now here, I can save one of the fishing spots by moving it a bit further off to the right. And I think plateaus like being beside each other, right? Yeah, okay, so it doesn't matter if I place them side by side. Hold on, would it have been better to have waited for another city? I have bargain, I can duplicate the city center. Could I duplicate the city center and place it out in the middle of, like, the plateau to make my houses really scale? I don't know if that's worth it, because then I take a minus 45 hit to its points. And while this one did score 41, I don't think I'm gonna, like, make back those 45 points by putting that many mansions beside it. This was a plan from the beginning. I have a fisher to place to save the 2 points. I don't think I care about the 2 points. I think I just want to get the plateau down first. I will care about the other fish, though, even if I'm losing out on a very small amount of space on the plateau there. Okay, any other buildings that I can place so far? Another seaweed field. So I was hoping that, like, Maybe that was in range, but it's not. I was hoping to play another 2x1 and another 2x1 to make them all fit. Yeah, and that's not a 2x1 that fits. Okay, so it is just here. Right. That saves a spot for a 2x3 and for a hook to make it. Yeah, okay, so I play it there. Parks, because I want to place them beside the hops fields. I get another city center. Okay. Now, where would I want to put the city center to get points? Beside all of the masons, yeah, they get 36. Could I play a plateau first and a city center on or near that plateau to get those points? I don't know if it's worth it. It's worth 36 if I tuck it back here, but then I'm not putting it beside where... Is this a good place for a second plateau? It's 36 points. This is 46. I could move it like... That feels like it's moving it too far in. Okay, I play a city center like right here. It's like 1 or 2 mansions that are in both the city center's range and the plateau's range. I don't think that's worth it. If I play a plateau back here, it's 24. So I am going to have to play it on the water for sure to get my 46 points, or 56 after I play my next city center. I could get another if I... No. Okay, I'm going to duplicate a plateau as my way to get more points, and I can put down 3 of them. So then that way I can put down maybe like 1 more right here, and then my last one... No, that's not in range. Does this get in range of everything? No, the masons aren't far enough out. If I rotate them, is it... There's like no way that I can get 3 in here, right? 46. 20. And there's no way that I can put them in the back area here. No. Okay, if I slide this guy in, can he hit more of the masons? Nope. That's 46, going to be 56 after I place the city center. This is going to be 34 after I place the city center. Well, it's not going to be able to get to the corner that much. I could place the city center on this side, though, like all the way down here. No, it's going to have to be on the plateau a bit. Okay, if all of my buildings are here, I could say that this is going to be 46 points, and then this, I'm just going to bite the bullet on points and place a market all the way out here, getting in range of the houses that I'm placing in front of it, and the warehouse that I have planned for the future. I mean, it's a possibility. It's not one that I like. Man, there's a lot of things to think about later you go into the game. But this, I think parks, do they like being beside houses? They do. Do I place a mansion here then to get at the extra points? Yeah, I can start with one here. There's no reason for me to wait any longer. There's not going to be another plateau that I place beside it for it to get more points. And there we go. It gets an extra whopping 1 point. Oh, that's not in range. Wow, mansions really can't get close to it. Okay. That feels correct, especially because I'm not going to be able to build into that corner all the way, I don't think. And even if I place a plateau right beside this, isn't going to be in range of it. So I can play that one comfortably. Yeah, and I can't fit anything into that corner. Okay, so let's see if this guy gets in range of the city center. It is. What about a building like this? Okay, so the next 2 mansions that I play, I'm going to want to play like this to get them beside the city center. But that feels like a fine position. We'll do that. I should think about saving space for my houses to have a circus beside them, because I never scored high on a circus. A circus likes a tavern likes a brewery. Because I started placing my mansions here already, that means that this is probably where my houses should have gone, and then like a circus here beside the one city center, and then like the tavern that just plays somewhere else around here. I don't know how much I'm gonna score off a fountain. I'm gonna have 3 city centers, so huts score pretty well, so we'll take those earlier. I can place a park pretty freely, not perfectly freely. 18 points. I think the most that I'm getting is, yeah, if I do the original plan of making a skinny one down here. 20 points, and that's 17. I can make it worth 19 here, and I can make it worth, okay, so I'll take this as like as soon as it hits 20, then my next skinny one can go here for like 19, roughly. And then I'm still building this area as my Hermitage space. I'm hoping to get to the Hermitage. This run is feeling like a lot better than the last run. So it's probably got enough legs to make it there. Now if I placed a plateau here and then placed a city center on top of it, that's enough space to keep it away, and then I can place some mansions that are beside 2 plateaus in a city center. It keeps all of my mansions on these plateaus, and then my third one that I duplicate can go over in this corner and have a bunch of houses that go down here with a circus beside them. Yes? The houses do better with the masons back here, but I conceivably, yeah, I'm not getting many of them. Yeah, even if I place the plateau right here, I'm not hitting masons with the houses. It's just not happening. What if I start playing houses up here to be in range of the other plateau? No. Okay, if I play a plateau out there, that means that I can't get the extra 10 points from a city center being on it, meaning I have to play another 2 houses beside it. Or just 1 mansion and it recovers the points. Maybe it's worth it then? Maximize the build area, place a city center on it somewhere in the center here so that most of the mansions on the right side can reach it. None of the houses are going to be able to reach these 2 plateaus. If I get a third one in the future, though, then I could place them... I could just duplicate the plateau instead for more building area. God, it's a tough choice. But this is where my Hermitage is going. It's better for my fisheries and my hut if I play a city center over here, but then it messes me up for when I do get to the resort oasis. Yeah, because the huts don't like any of the industry buildings on that side. So these guys might not even be in range of 2 city centers, or not in range of 2 without being in range of all of the buildings that they don't like. What do I actively want to place? I don't think I'm finding a spot for the guild hall. That feels like a pretty long shot. Like, everything feels so congested that like the max I'm gonna get is 36 over here. This was like a 50 up here, but it takes spaces away from my wheat fields that I planned in the future. I could place it down here for like 48 after I play a city center, a house, and does anything else go beside it to get at the extra points? I could maybe sneak a mansion in on this side for an extra 12 points. Makes the circuses a bit harder to place. Okay, I'm gonna play a city center out here with as much space as it can to give, because I think I need some spots to put my houses down. And then it makes the plateau placement easier to like conceptualize in the future. It's 36 currently. I play a house. I play a mansion. I can maybe play a tower right here and get it in range of everything and have the guild hall in range of it as well. The guild hall, does it extend to the water? Just barely. If I play the plateau so that it extends into that range, it gets another 12 points, which, yeah, I can do. It does get rid of more of the space on the plateau, but it also... it needs to be like that to get both of the city centers in range. Do I commit a plateau here? this plateau would be for base points, not for how many the mansions get. If I play it for somewhere that like a mansion would like it, it would be over here for 10 points. And then that means that my mansions, they scale 6 off a plateau. I need to place so many of them to recoup the points. I'm playing a plateau for points here then, so that I can stop thinking about it and hopefully getting it in range of the guild house as well, which means I move it further to the right. And the closer I get this to the side, maybe I can get a couple houses in range, or maybe I can fit a circus on top of it. Or if I put it all the way out here, maybe there's enough range for a market to fit on it. And then the guild hall can... Okay, where was I trying to put it? I was trying to put it more to the right here for like no reason at all. I could just push it into this corner here, and then it's easy to hit the plateau. So then I can put the plateau out as far as I want, and a market goes here. Okay, that's the plan. That's the plan. Just need to hit both of these city centers while taking up as little space on it as possible because the market is so fat. I don't know if it's gonna have enough space for a market. We can hope. We can hope. Okay, we'll take... Fountains could be pretty good. Current draws at 3. If I take a tower now... I mean... Towers, they're going to score 5 off of each of these, 20 points plus all of the houses. If I take fountains, I think, like, it's a smaller building. You're likely to get more copies when you open a pack, or at least that's what it feels like. And I'm playing enough houses now. Maybe it's worth it. I don't have city centers beside each other, so not as much. I don't have parks on these, so not as much. I can probably leave the fountain behind. I'm going to take the tower instead. Okay, so we get another sand pit. That's an interesting building to get this late. Where would it even go? I have like all of my brickyards over here, so like... What if I face it in this direction? Man, it feels weird that this is worth 14 points and I could place it over here for straight 18, even though it's beside so many of my brickyards. It's beside a bunch of my other sand pits as well, and it's not trawling as much area, but still. Okay, so if I place it over here, I get 16. If I get any brickyards in the future, they're better, but I'm messing up where my brewery can fit in. I don't know how the Hermitage scales off the sandpit, so I don't want to place it here yet, but this is probably where it's going to go. I still don't want to place huts because I want to copy a city center somewhere before I do so. Right? No, because they were just going to go over here anyways. I can't place the fisheries until I copy a city center to find another place to put it. Where would my last city center go? Because I can't place more plateaus for points. The Masons no longer have the space. What else is a high scoring building? I mean, if I do get to the Hermitage, I can... No, there's not going to be enough space here, and it's beside too many houses and city centers. And if I place 2 side by side, I think the reduction in points is too great for that to matter. This is definitely where I'm putting the guild hall, though. That's for sure. Nice to have that position squared away. That means that I can't place any houses here, and like it also takes a bit for it to lock in, so... No, it doesn't take very much for it to lock in. Could I place it up here out of the way? It gets a little bit less points by not hitting a sand pit. Can I place a sand pit here for a lot of points? This is 17 compared to the, 18 over there. And this guarantees that I hit 12, and the guild hall is out of the way of all of the houses. Yeah, and then also I can, like, play this while I have all of my houses built on the backside, and then after I finish placing this guild hall, after I get a market or something, then I can play more houses here in front so that I don't take the -10 reduction in points. Houses can hit that plateau. I'll do that then. And one of the Masons. Can I hit another one of the Masons? I mean, maybe if I had a differently shaped house. No. All right, the first house has been placed. Also, I have not seen any more lumberjacks or sawmills. The next pack that I open, is 75 points here. Okay. I don't want to use my undos. I haven't used too many of them, and I might get bonus points from them. What I was going to say is that I think this amount of points is going to only allow me to draw 2 of each building that I pick up now, so it's unlikely that I get any more sawmills or lumberjacks. So I can, I think, comfortably place these now. I'm at least going to place the sawmill that goes over here. $18 points, and it's maybe beside a warehouse. The other one, let's make sure that it has enough space over here. Yeah, 18 points, and it's not hitting the other one. Because I'm not getting any lumberjacks, I can start putting this mill down, and I can put it down in a spot that I don't need to worry about, a second mill, because it's so unlikely that I get another one. So if I put it right beside the statue, what's that going to do? Is it going to give me, like, the most space to build? If I pull it out a bit, and I put one field in between them, and then I can put like 1, 2 here, 3, 4 here, and then it's not beside the statue, but 5, 6, 7 maybe? I've only got 6 fields. I'm not getting duplicates of them. If I place it here, I know that I can't place a wheat field on this side. I could place 1, 2 beside the statue, 3 beside the statue, 4, 5 beside the statue. I think, yeah, it is best for me to place it here, right beside the statue then. If I play it down here, I get an extra 10 points, but then I don't have any fields to place beside it, meaning that every field is 5 points because I'm playing 6. That means that I'm scoring 20 less points by putting it down there. I play a lower point mill now to get more points in the future. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is what it's feeling like. If I do some like weird angled shenanigans, could I get this 2, 3, and that? No, that's not going to be close enough. Okay, I'm not going to angle them all weird. Warehouse for sure. We get another park. That's an easy placement. I already have this lined up. 18 points compared to, we'll take the 20. The warehouse down here is getting us 62 points. Quite nice, quite nice. Now, I could try getting a fisher right here to get the warehouse an extra bit of points. Plus 6. If I place a fisher first, I think it only benefits 3. Benefits 2, so not nearly as much. So like this guy could benefit an extra 2 points by a warehouse, but this guy benefits an extra 5 when I place the warehouse down. If I have it, yeah, pushed down, it does. Oh, there's a lot more space in there than I thought for warehouse. Okay, let me try like reasoning about this. This guy feels like he has the same range or a bit more than a brickyard, because I remember this brickyard placement was pretty close to the sandpit edge. So slightly more than a brickyard, and the amount of space that it takes up, if I were to try to fit it in by this rock, would it have fit? Like, probably just barely. Okay. It's like twice the size of a brickyard. Yeah, it looks like 2 brickyards. And no, not even a little bit longer. I'm not seeing the tail end of it. Okay, so it's twice as big as a brickyard and has a bit of extra range. If we move this down further, it's got a higher chance of hitting the market. We wait to place it because I wanted to place the brewery before that happens. We're not getting any hops fields. I can put this guy down. Yeah, and if I move him close enough, he doesn't hit the statue. So here. Do I have any other buildings that I want to place? I want to place this sawmill. Current draws at 2. Okay. I would want to play this fisher, but then, okay, if I play this fisher here, I could play 1 in this corner for 24 points. Is there any way that I can hit both of the city centers without hitting this guy down here? because this seems like it's taking up too much space in the center that I'm not going to have other good spots for fishers. If I place one here, the only places that I can play them are like out here or down here. So I have one other 22-point scoring one, or maybe not even. If I place one in this corner to score 22 points instead, does the warehouse still reach it? Yeah, I can make it reach it. Okay, so that's where I play my first fisher. My second fisher is going over here for 24 points. Or like, yeah, I might be able to. No, because if one's going here, I need to have it far out to the side. It'll go for 24 points. That's good enough for me. 20-point fishers seem pretty nice. I should have opened up a building pack before I did that. Now, a tavern or a fountain. I get one of these buildings. The tavern is going to have a -18, I believe, at the beginning. It's going to hit both of these statues. I think it has enough range to do that. And the brewery, because I can place it up here, and it'll hit some of the houses, the 3 houses that I have left to place. Is that better than placing one fountain that's going to be worth like 30 points beside all of these mansions? Because I'm pretty obviously going to be placing, the rest of them over here because they score the most. I'm going to be placing one over here for the guild hall, but I can play this mansion pretty safely. Don't need to worry about it. Fountain gets me more points. Unless I had a second brewery, but I'm not getting that. Okay, we'll wait on the fountain to see. I was thinking that it would give me more points than this 19. I think it's still the correct decision, though. Verdure, I'm not going to be benefiting much from. The Hermitage that I'm placing over here, probably not doing that much for me. Ooh, okay, so if I play for fish, I think I can play an extra flower, yeah. So I can get 14 points here as opposed to the 15 up here, but then the fishing hut that I place over here benefits an extra 6 from it. Anything else that I want to think about with verdure? I don't think so. It's a safe building to place. And because I'm not duplicating another city center, I feel like this fishery is a safe building to place. I'm not getting better than that 30. I don't think I've seen a fisher that high. Well, maybe I have in some of my later runs where I have like 4 city centers. I have 2 wheat fields to place. I can place those guys up here. Oh, that's also fitting beside the statue in the mill. That's nice. Does this one also do it? It only does it for 1. Okay, if I did that one there and then like try to angle it in from the side, no, that doesn't work. Okay, so we'll just play it here. Okay, we open up our next building pack. Now, a tavern or a circus. Taverns scale off of the brewery, the city centers, and the houses. The circus scales off of the city centers and the houses. And because I have 3 houses and only 1 city center for the circus to play beside it, we're going to leave the circus in the dust. We're going to take the tavern. Now, we'll also see if this is a more worthwhile building to place than a fountain. Can I not place it on this ridge? Is it too angled? Come on, you can fit, right? Maybe I can, okay, I can get them on the edge of this plateau, taking up some space that I don't exactly want to, but it's not the worst. This also works back here, okay. I was just hoping to get the statues in as well. Okay, with this being worth so little points, I can get extra 12 if I place it by the guild hall over here. Same with the tower. Let's see, the tower's 29 points. If I move it down within the guild hall range, still 29. Okay. Let me just make sure that's within the guild hall range. Not quite. The tower would need to go on the outside of the brickyard, it looks like. Hold on. A guild hall is worth 60 down here because of a house. I'm definitely going to get a house in range. The tower would need to go like here to make it work. It is still more points. If I place it here, that's a loss in 2. Oh, interesting. 35. Did I see more? 36. If I can find a spot to play it for 29, I'm getting an extra 5 points if I get it within range of the guild hall as well. Any more industry buildings for the warehouse? It's getting 3 per sandpit. If I can find a way to get the sandpit back here for like 14 points, it's worth it. That's not gonna happen though. It's not gonna happen. Okay, I can place the warehouse then because it's not gonna scale off of anything else. Masons. Yeah. Wait, does it have a tavern? Scaling? No. Okay, this is a safe play. And I'll try leaving some space for... Was that 77 or 71? I'm gonna undo it. I don't trust myself. That's 77. I didn't remember the number. I could have tested this myself. No, that feels like it's an extra 7 points. I think it stopped at 91, not 98. Okay. The sandpit doesn't go down because I'm waiting on Hermitage. Tower doesn't go down because I'm waiting on something else. I'm not getting... What's the building I duplicate? Lighthouse is at max going to be worth 40, but it's not going to be worth more than... what is it? Another build? Or it's not going to have a location that's worth this 45 again. Sandpit isn't going to be worth a lot. Another warehouse back here might actually be, because I've already used the undo. I'm going to count this as... No, I'm not. I'm going to use up all 3 of my undos. The warehouse doesn't like being beside each other at a rate of -15. If I can fit 2 warehouses in back here... 77... Okay, I'm going to take up this space with it. If I can fit another one in here, that's around 60 points. That's worth it. So that would be the building that I duplicate so far. We want a mansion in range of this guild hall. Yeah, there's no way that I can get it close enough to the plateau. Not thinking straight. This will get me to my next building pack. It feels fine. Guild hall or circus. Circus is not paying off much. I can take another guild hall and find another better spot for it. Oh, I can play another one back here? I guess, yeah. Okay. Can I get the lumberjack up top in play as well to get an extra few points? I need to push it into the wall a bit. Okay, so this is worth 62. What else could I get in range to make it worth more? And from here, it doesn't extend out far enough. I was thinking, okay, so a tavern here, it's worth -5. A tavern here is like 17. I was thinking maybe if I get this in range of both the guild halls, it would be worth it. If that's what 17, I think -5, that's 22 points. This is still worth more points if it hits both guild halls. That's crazy. And I can't place down any more houses if this is what I'm going for. Does a tavern up here earn more points? It'd be like worth 19 instead of the 17 here. You know, it feels so wrong to put it down like this outside of range of both the brewery and the other city center, but it's more worth it for the guild halls. Takes up space away from where the tower is going to go. Okay, so then the tower can also get an extra 24 points. The fountain here can get an extra 24 points if I have 2 guild halls. This is turning out to be a lot better than I thought. Okay, so 1 and 2. I'd need the tower to be low. Does it have enough space to be that low? Or I guess the tower could be like right here. It's worth an extra 24 points here as opposed to up there. That makes it worth it. Do mansions and houses like being beside towers more than towers? Yes, they do. So I can place this first and actually get some of my mansions in range of it, or my houses in range of it, because I think, yeah, the mansions are going to score better points over here. Like this to get it in range of the plateau. I saw it in range of the plateau, but that might have only been when I like angled it. Yeah, that's too far away. These guys are worth 10. This guy's going to be worth 10 plus 2 plus the fountain being nearby, but I have to wait on playing the mansions. It's weird to play these buildings at the end, the mansions and the houses. Okay, the fountain. Any mansions that I place over here are going to be close enough to it. The fountain should go here to be in range of both of the guild halls. A hut. If I place it over here for 2 points, it then turns into 26 compared to just playing it for like a measly 12 over here. That's also worth it. Do I play it like on this side? Do I play it up here? Where does it go? Okay. This guild hall is extending out. Does that fit? I think it's got enough range where I can place it on that side and have it work. Which I just feel like I like better. So let's make sure that fits. Hut goes there. Wait, does a tower get more points here or more points there? It's a 1 point difference, same as the hut, so it's not like it really matters. Does a guild hall placed on this side have enough range? Yeah. Okay, I can move it down really far and still have it be in range of everything. I was thinking that like I'd get the sawmill up here. It's worth an extra 2 points if I do that. This just gives me more area to work with. This guy up here is in range of the hut. Okay. Hold on. The guild hall here is not in range of a sand pit. So that's where I was going to place my last one. This one would be in range of 1 sand pit as well if I placed it down below. The lighthouse, if I place it down here and it gets an extra 24 points, is that worth it? So this is worth 46. Man, the guild houses are such an odd building to place, but they're so cool. Okay. It takes up a lot of space from my other buildings, but I kind of want to do it. 23 points is the most I'm good. 24. I'm not going to fight for any more than that. Place this here before any more of the houses go down. The sand pit probably should be placed first. Yeah, so that it's able to... Okay, I'm only losing 1 point if I place it down second. I'm committing to this location here instead of the one up there after the Hermitage to maybe get some more points, because then this guild hall scores an extra 12 off of it, and this one can be played down lower and manage. Yeah, so now it is better to place the second guild hall here. I just want to... I guess I'll figure out how far down I can bring this eventually. 96 compared to... Okay, if I can't bring it down to the second sand pit and I have to hit that top one up there, that also works to guarantee me to be out of the range of this guild hall up here. The tavern was going to be placed here for more points. Okay, I need to make enough points to get to the next round, so the next building I place can be interacted with the guild halls. I keep forgetting about bargain. I could have had a third one. Where would I place a third guild hall, if anywhere? Because like this set of buildings down here is now really good for guild halls. Okay, 1, 2, not 3. I could do it. In there's a weird spot. Wild that it's 56 in the middle of like all of my copied buildings. Okay, it's either a warehouse or a guild hall that I duplicate. The duplicate isn't as strong as what I wanted it to be, but because it's locked behind a second screen, I just keep forgetting about it. The tower can go down now. If I'm placing the guild hall here, is that still in range? Yeah, I can get an extra 1 point out of it. Right. Okay. 23 points to play it there. And this is in range of the tower, yes. We can't play any more mansions or houses within the range of the guild halls. This guy is going to get any more houses that I place here in range. We've already played our hut down here for a bunch of extra points. I think I played up here for 13. Is this going to mess up with my Hermitage? Oh, 14. Okay, that's better. It's just a fine spot to put it in. Okay, I need to score enough points to get to the next round without playing a guild hall, without playing houses or mansions here. Do I succeed the space for my guild hall or mansion in this area to play houses? I mean, if I play houses, then the guild hall gets worse in that area. If I play a house back here, it's not too high scoring. I'd have to play 2. I'd have to like 1 spot, 2 spot to be able to save this for a warehouse. That's 17 points. This over here is not even worth that much. Okay, so it's just best to play the house up here. The mansions, if I place them here, are not going to be in range of both the plateaus. So I play 1. Hopefully I can get this guy in range of the plateau as well. Let's say I play this differently. I play this one here instead for 16 points, and then I play the 2x2 out here for more. I can undo this, play my house here first for 13 points. It's not as much as I was expecting. And it blocks off. Okay, let me play where I did before. 18 points. And then this is still getting like my 13, right? 14, so even better. Not even better. It's beside the house, which is getting its 1 extra point. Blocks me off from playing any more houses in this area, but I don't have any more houses to play. I can just add my next building pack. Market. This is what I wanted. This hopefully gets me enough points to get me to the next round on its own. 46. Not enough. Definitely not even close to enough. Okay, I'm gonna have to pop one of my guild halls then to get me to the next building pack. Guess I'd be playing my houses and my mansions before that goes down. My mansions are going to be best played around here for 13 points. They could be played over here for... Yeah, it doesn't reach, right? I already tested that, it doesn't reach. It's so close though. The mansions that I play for 13 here need to be after the guild halls. They come down at the very end, meaning that they're not going to be scaling off of this market by an extra 2. So if I play a house over here for 10, it's actually 12 because of the market. Because I want to play the market before I play either of my guild halls. Or I guess I can play this guild hall first. No, okay. It's rough. Okay, if I play a 10 here, I'm going to get an 11 next. If I play a 13 over here, I'm getting the same. No, because this is also in range of the market. It's better to play my mansions over here. So I am going to ship it on this guild hall in the corner, so that this one that I place in the future is going to be beside the market. So we get 108 points. There's no way to shimmy it up here for more. Right, I already got rid of that a while back. 108 points, and then double checking that this one isn't in range of the other guild hall. Wait, they like being beside... It's not that they like being beside each other, it's that... Oh, God. Guild halls can be placed beside each other because they don't count themselves as a repeated building. And they're only taking a -10 if they're being placed beside each other. That is so many points. Wait, I'm gonna have 3 buildings at 120-ish. Okay, so Guild Hall 1 here, Guild Hall 2 here, so they're both out of range of this guy, and they both get like the 98 points. Oh my goodness, okay. Well, I do have a building to copy, I guess. Okay, if this is 108, this is also going to be 108. I'm just going to double check that my guild hall that I put on the island up top is going to have the space. 108 goes here. This is 120 because it's now got the guild hall beside it. This is... Oh, and it wants that guild hall to be in the way. So that's fine to be put there, actually. Okay. Before I do that, I need to place my tavern, though. I've forgotten about that because the tavern is now worth 36 points. So it is always worth it to be placed here instead of here for the 21 points. That's a 26 point difference, and it's still worth it to be played here instead. Okay, so 1. We play it for 120. This guy is in range of the guild hall, correct? And this guy is in range of the guild hall, and it doesn't get pushed up into the sandpit. Okay, okay. Guild hall is an incredible item early, I guess. This is the perfect run for it. I think it's nice that, like, oh, I've already built all of my like sections fully. I don't have any better places for sawmills or lumberjacks, and having guaranteed 2 of them by getting to the pack and then getting 1 at the beginning means that you'll be able to place them side by side with all of the buildings that you've stacked up. So any extra building, you get to make the decision of, is there a spot that is 24 points more valuable than this? And pretty often the answer to that is no. Straight up. Okay, so the Hermitage, pretty good on points. I like it. 70 points is nothing to scoff at. Oh, and it does like being beside the brewery slightly. Okay. So this is one where I get to put it out here instead of by all of the guild halls. 72 is good. The flower here got me an extra 3 points, the one that I cycled through to make sure that my fish are beside it. Mansions don't go down yet because they're going down here after all the guild halls go down. And hey, we're getting some extra points from being beside the guild halls. That's kind of nice. Now the next guild hall that I place down can be the one here. Now hold on, I just want to make sure. Could I have gotten enough points with the market? I think I actually do, right? Let me undo that building. Yeah, I get enough points with the market. Sure, I'm losing out on like the couple points that I get by not placing the houses down first. But because I'm placing the houses after the guild hall, they're going to scale 2 points off of that instead. And then I get 1 more building, which is going to be worth another 24 total points off of my guild hall. Like maybe I get a circus back here. Maybe it's only worth 12 more points because I can't find it a good spot to fit. A wall. Nope, I can find a good spot for a wall. Like, okay, so I want to put it by the guild halls rather than... Okay. It has to be worth 24 more points elsewhere. I maybe saw 29 somewhere. Walls are going to be so jank to place later on. I'm not going to get into how they get placed, not until I have like a couple in my inventory to like describe. Okay, so it's a 29, but it's like directly in the center, and I'm not going to get a wall to be able to find a location to play around all of that. So 13 is pretty good. Maybe I can get a few more. A 16. That's going to seem like the best that I can get. It does remove some of the locations for good mansions. So I might want to play it for less points elsewhere. Like a 13 point, I could still be happy with. There we go. There's a 13 point. Now I don't know if the top guild house is going to be in range of this. Maybe it gets in range of that. I'll check here. Yes, it does. Okay. And then the guild hall over here is going to be in range of it. So then I have to expend one of my guild halls. It doesn't matter which one I play first. I think this one has more opportunities to have buildings be placed closer to it, so I play this one first. It's so many points. It's so many points. My Hermitage being played for like 90 before and me popping off, and this one being played for like, what was that, 160? Oh, it's still going. It's like about to fill up the second ring for me. I'm able to get 2 more buildings. A monument. No, it's such a high scoring building that no, it's not. Okay, so it likes parks but not hop field. I thought it just liked all greenery. Okay. It's got a base score of -15. I could play it here for 12 points because it's beside one guild hall, or I can probably find a better location for it. Does it like being by seaweed fields? No. So parks, but no hop fields. I can't place it there then. It doesn't like mill or fields either. No, it is looking like that this is going to be a low scoring building at like 15, and that's it. Do mansions like them? No, they don't really care for monuments. Okay, so it's a 0 scoring building to then get +12 eventually. You can just go there then. And then I'll want to... Okay, if I play mansions here, my guild house is going to take a hit in its points, and I don't want that to happen. Even though I'm not getting the next building in a chain to be able to get 12 more points on my guild house, I'm not willing to spend mansions here to do that for me. So let's duplicate a guild house. +5 single option. Oh, sorry. I think the +5 single option is that now for the next 5 choices that I make, I only get to make one. So when I look at the next building pack, I'm only going to see one option show up. I think that's what the single options are. And I guess I could have bargained a lot earlier, like when I placed the first guild hall, because like I don't really care about these building choices that I'm making anymore. So when I go into Island 3, it's gonna be easier. There's no micromanaging that I do. Well, okay, so the micromanaging that I do is I make it in line with the city center so that mansions can wrap around it easier to, be in a better position. Okay, so now when I click the add building pack, I'm not able to... Oh, and a fish kite could score so many points. I'll probably be able to unlock it. Probably. Yeah, I got 2 unlocks because of the one guild house. Wall platform doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm glad to take the fish kite. Okay. 75 points. Do I get to get one more building? Oh my goodness. 85 as my max. 85 is my max. Then I need to score 40 with the rest of my buildings. Hold on. Does the fish kite scale off of the circus? It does. So I play the circus first. The circus gets 14 points at max back here. It's not going to get any more elsewhere because I don't have any houses placed in like easy positions. They're just out in the middle of nowhere there. So it goes here. I'm not going to play the mansions. Doesn't matter if I play the mansions yet, I guess. 100 points. Wow. Okay, this is doing so much better than my other island, number 2. It's actually feeling like I'm getting to a later point in the game on this one rather than just getting to the same point as my first island. Now that I know that this mansion is like this, I want to find a way to... I guess that works, right? Oh, I can get beside the fountain. Kind of like that, and then maybe this guy's going to be able to extend around here. Yeah, it gets a -3 from the circus, but I'll manage. Now I guess before I place these buildings, I should open up this building pack, see if the wall platform can get me any more points anywhere. Likes being beside city centers, statues, and other wall platforms, so like, not very much choice to make here. It's gonna ruin the look of my island just to have a floating platform here with nothing on it, because I don't have any other big buildings left to place. Let's save that for a bit then, so that I can try to like not ruin the thumbnail, or not the thumbnail, but like what the island looks like at the end by placing it. We play these 2 buildings. 415. Okay, I could play it back here for 18 so it looks nicer. I could play it for 20 out here, and I guess that doesn't look that bad because it's just the market that it's covering, right? Yeah, it's not that bad. Wow, what a second island in comparison to my first. Seeing items like the fish kite and stuff like that. I think that's a very... I don't think it's a breakpoint that you can hit without the guild hall, but getting an extra 100 on a building by picking it up later on at this stage in the game, great, great. So I know that you are guaranteed to get the temple on Island 3. I don't know if it's worth it if guild halls and things like that can get you this many points, especially with me still building smaller cities and doing well with it. Okay, what would I have changed about this run? I like the mason placements. I think if I knew that like the plateaus didn't have as much range and I could have gotten 3 out of them, I maybe would have placed them, like higher on the cliff or like some on the backside. I don't think I had the ability to. This statue feels like the wrong choice now. Look at how many buildings are down here. Look at how many could have been in range of it. This statue could have been down here benefiting the 3 guild halls, the circus, the monument, the tower. I think, no, the tower is in range. It could have been benefiting all the houses and the mansions and the sand pit. But up here, it's just benefiting off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. It's getting like 35 points. Down here, it could have gotten this... Now knowing that my guild houses are like built for this section, it would have gotten 36 from there, but let's leave out the guild houses because those feel like extenuating circumstances. It's gonna get maybe like an extra 4 here, extra 5 I'm gonna say the monument gives. These houses, probably not all of them get beside it, maybe like 2 or 3. The wall probably has a fine spot with the statue, the house does, the sandpit. I guess it still only gets like 40 points, and if I placed it down here, I'm also dropping by like, I think this was worth 9 when I placed it here, and it's worth 21 up here because of all the trees that were nearby. So it's still the correct play to put the statue up there. That feels wrong. That feels wrong that just like playing fields beside a statue is the way to go. If it works, it works. I'm not gonna judge. I don't think I could have done any more planning to make huts any better. I granted only got 2 on this run, but like say if I got 4, I'd have been playing them for 14 each instead of anything that could have been more. It's because all of my industry buildings were between my 2 city centers. Could I have bargained anything earlier to get more points? No, I didn't get enough residential buildings to duplicate a city center to make it so that stacking 2 of them beside each other is very worthwhile. The bargain on the guild house is the best option, straight up, because I got 160 points off of it. There's nothing that compares to it. The seaweed fields I liked in the back corner. They don't scale off of any of the other buildings, but it felt like I got a bunch of like, I got 1, 2, 3 triplicates, I think. And the shaman back here, I guess it only touched 1 seaweed field, so it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's nice that I'm thinking of that early, but this corner is not as good as something like this corner, or even just like something here where it's blocking off some of the rays out front. For every ray that I don't block, I have to place another seaweed field, and that's hard to get done. I did do a misplay by not allowing my lighthouse to be on this rock for 45 points. I thought I might get a second one. Maybe it's more consistent that way of like, oh, I should be expecting a second lighthouse. I guess, yeah, sorry, I did get a second lighthouse and I placed it over here because the guild hall just made it better, right? Guild halls. If I would have waited on placing the shaman, I could have gotten an extra, like, I think, like 8 points by placing it down here. Not many. And I think the shaman being, like, placing it earlier to get me to the next building pack and not having to think as much is kind of worth it, to be honest. But it meant that I didn't have a spot that I thought that my lighthouse could have been. I just lucked into this being a good spot for it. The lumberjacks and the sawmills, I waited a little bit too long on getting more of them, or maybe I didn't. Like, in hindsight, I can say that I did because I didn't draw anymore, but I think it was a good play to have them up on this ridge over here, to have my sawmills by the warehouse. The warehouse, very good placement. The market, as good as I could have gotten it. I don't think I would have preferred this plateau to be beside any more of the houses, just because I needed space to play the market, and that's a perfect amount. In other runs, I think I'll want to fill the plateau with something else and leave the market for like the base ground or a wall platform, because houses don't care about wall platforms, but markets can be placed like directly above wherever I need them to be, to get in range of the warehouses in as many residential areas as possible. The hops fields, I'm fine with their placement. They all benefited from the statue here. I maybe could have gotten more out of this statue. I don't think so. I think I played around this statue properly, saving this for my hops field and this area to be industry. It just worked out well with the masons and the plateaus. I don't think there's much else for me to say. Guild house all the way. I see it early, I take it early. Too good of a building to pass up. That's it.